Hey, thanks for coming to the demo. We're Clojure and we help teams productionize their data sources so that data can be reliably used across teams. Now, let's say that I'm a data producer and I own this transformation here that makes a table with the column product ID being only 1, 2, and 3. And I can run this producer side pipeline by typing this command dbt build in, and we can query the output of this producer table in GBQ, and we can see the product IDs 1, 2, and 3. So things look to be good here. Now, let's say that I'm a consumer of this table. Let's say that I'm a product manager in charge of promotions, and I want to get the price of all the products on promotion, and that's only products 1, 2, and 3. So I want to make a data contract that ensures that this table that I rely on only has product ID 1, 2, and 3. So to do that, we can go onto the Clojure UI and create a new data contract. You can call this data contract business intelligence sales aggregate, for example. And let's say that it's within the Facebook Marketplace domain. Let's add the owner as me. And let's put down the path of where this producer table is. Here we're going to add column level information. So for example, we want to add a assertion on the product ID, and we want the product ID to be only 1, 2, and 3. And we can put in this SQL statement here to assert that. And let's say we also want to assert on the price. And we want to add a test that the price is going to be non-negative. So right now we have to fill in the column level details manually, but in the future we want to pre-fill these with the specifications of an existing data source, and this will reduce the amount of inputs that the user would have to put in significantly. And making this change is quite simple. Let's go ahead and create this data contract. It's been created now, and let's do the happy case. So from the producer standpoint, if I were to run the pipeline again, I would expect everything to go fine because we haven't made any changes. And we can see that the producer side went okay. And let's take a look at the table, and yep, everything looks normal, 1, 2, and 3 product ID. But let's say that as a producer, I made an unintended change by now also outputting product ID 4. And I want to run this. This change ideally should not be reaching the consumer because the consumer didn't agree that 4 should be one of the approved values. And here we can see that the producer side pipeline failed. But if we go over to look at the table that the consumer relies on, the product ID 4 didn't reach the consumer. The consumer is protected from unintended changes. However, as the producer, I can still go ahead and debug and see what went wrong. And I can do that by looking at the dead letter queue table, which I can look at it from this select statement. And here I can see that I have the row with column 4 here. And this is how I can determine what went wrong in the pipeline here. So in just a few lines, most of which can be computer generated, these column level information, we've protected the data consumer from unintended changes that deviated from the spec sheet, the data contract. Thanks for listening.